What's up, y'all? It's your baby girl, Tami T, and you are watching Conversessions.
So hard to kill her. You ain't gonna knock this shit tonight. Go hard to kill her. I'm ill and you know this shit, alright. I'm a bad motherfucker. I don't care what they say about me. You can say what you wanna, but I'm moving up for it. Go hard to kill her. Now we all wanna rock to this sound.
Of course, you know I'm gonna ask you about your name. There's no way I can't ask you about your name. How in the world did you come up with Samurai Del? What's that inspiration? Like, where did that come from?
I used to rap, and I used to rap under a name. It was called Delphonic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's what I used to rap under. And then, cause like how I remember Mac Miller, cause he raps under Mac Miller, then produces like under Larry Fisherman. So I was like, I still want to rap, but like I've been making beats since I've been rapping, and then, or when I was rapping. And then, so it was basically just combining like from Delphonic, and then I was also really into Samurai Jack. And like, I used to change my Twitter name to like stupid shit, like it was like Storm Shadow and something weird. So like changed it to like Samurai Jack one day, and then I was like in my friend's room, and then I was like, oh, Samurai Del. I had multiple names. There was Rec when I first started rapping, which was the wild red-eyed kid.
I was like, I feel like there's someone we probably shouldn't talk about.
I liked my acronyms, and then I was IKA, the illest kid around.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
And then
we still don't know what FKA stands for FKA Twigs, but we ride with it. So if we didn't know what it meant, it would have been fine.
Yeah. And then it was Delphonic after that, and then
nice.
Yeah.
And then you hear Samurai Del. And your hat, I love the Japanese inspired hat. And you have a character on there that you have painted on there.
You know who Javon is?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Of course, I went to school.
Javon actually painted that.
Okay, shout out to Javon.
Shout out to Javon.
He's very talented, like killing it.
Yeah.
He's been brewing since we were in college. My freshman year of college, Javon was trying to figure out, okay, like how can I just do my thing and just be me? Like he was always different.
Yeah.
So I love to see that he had dropped that little video clip and then it got recognized by
the Fader. Yeah. That's super tight. Yeah, he's one of my favorite Seattle artists.
Amazing.
But yeah, it was really. I was like, yo, paint on my hat. 'Cause he painted it. He had like one hat at his house. And like he painted like I can't remember what he painted on it. I was like, yo, you should paint on mine.
Nice.
He did.
So what character is that? Do
it's
you know?
Aku, and then the Mongo from Samurai Jack.
Look at him. Look at him. Do you like anime? Like, are you something that you're kind of obsessed with?
I will be honest, no.
Are you an anime fan?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No. Like, I liked Samurai Jack. Mm-hmm. I like Afro Samurai, and like that one with Nujabi, the Samurai. It's like people are gonna like crucify me. It's like I don't know how to say it. Samurai shampoo or some shit.
You know what?
And actually,
it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either. I've seen like clips of it, but yeah, I'm not super into anime. But that's like a super SoundCloud thing. I feel like is like everyone's really into anime, and like I'm not gonna dog on it, but like yeah, it's just not my thing.
I have 4 words: Rage Against the Machine. Who are they, and what do they mean to you?
They were like one of my favorite bands when I was growing up. Cause like when I was growing, I didn't grow up like on hip hop or like R&B. Like my mom kind of like listened to whatever and like would listen to country music and whatnot. And like, and then my white dad, he would like just show me like dad rock and shit.
I'm mad because like, and then I had my white dad. Didn't tell us what mom was, but those what dad was because it matters.
No, he's like, but yeah, he showed me a lot of like music like Van Halen and like I love that music and like that was what I grew up on. Like I didn't even like I remember my white brothers, they would always be listening to like Nelly and like I remember they'd be wearing like Air Force Ones.
Some 2000s.
Yeah, the early 2000s like style, like yeah, and like they were always trying to get me into like rap music, and I was like, no, I used to call it like rap crap and whatnot.
Wow,
yeah.
So you were like anti.
Yeah, until like 7th or 8th grade.
You snapped out of it.
Well, was it because I remember I started like skating and whatnot, and like. But even like I listened to a lot, like I listened to like I got influenced by like by skateboarding just because there's so much like music that's involved in that and like the whole culture of that. I used to like the first instrument I played was a violin, and then like I played saxophone in middle school as well. But then I picked up a guitar though, and then that's what like really got me into music. I just started playing like every single day for like, a long time.
You're playing just acoustic or electric?
Well, I had an electric guitar.
Of course you had an electric guitar.
Like, I was playing like lots of 3 Days Grace and like
nice.
Avenged Sevenfold.
And I know Nirvana is an inspiration.
Yeah, Nirvana definitely. Nirvana, Pearl Jam, like all that. Like that's what I've always loved, and like it kind of shows in my music too, because like there's a lot of dynamic in my music, so it's not like with dynamics in music. There's like it'll be quiet and then it'll be loud. Like it's not just one just like noise. Like that's a lot of what SoundCloud is too nowadays. Like people forget that there's like supposed to be empty spaces in music, and like you're supposed to appreciate that.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't need to be blaring the whole entire time. Yeah. That's a message to y'all out here who are creating. Sometimes less is more. So exactly. Don't do too much.
Exactly.
You did grow up in Pasco, Washington. For those who don't know, what is Pasco like? Pasco, Washington.
So it's part of like the Tri-Cities, which is kind of like Pasco, Richland. It's like Pasco is like an agriculture town mostly, and like there's a lot of like Latinos out there, and like that's where I grew up. Like that's where all my Mexican family's at,
nice.
Living at, and it's cool. I'm definitely glad I left, just because there's not much going on out there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's where I'm from.
How does that growing up in that city, did that influence your music today at all?
Well, like when I was growing up there, I didn't get into music until I left.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The choice, like at least hip hop, and actually like really like getting into it. Like I would say a little bit, not too much. Just a small town boy.
You were like, this is even more of a motivation for me to kind of do the hell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I remember my mom made me leave.
Your mom made you dip?
Yeah, she wanted me to, like, I was getting the bad shit, so like I can't.
Oh, you were being bad?
Yeah, so she's like, you gotta get you out of here. So she took me to Spokane, and then yeah.
What kind of ruckus did you use to get yourself into it? What, 7th grade,
like,
6th
dumb,
grade?
Like, middle school, like getting in trouble, like stuff, like
detention.
Yeah, like if I would have stayed like in the Tri-Cities,
it would have been bad, little boy.
Yeah, I definitely would not be sitting in this chair talking with you right now.
So sometimes your parents.
I'd probably be in jail, honestly.
That's real. No, that's real. And I've heard about that, about Tri-Cities, definitely, because if you're in an area where there's not much to do, you find things to do, and a lot of times it may not be a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's not like a surprising statement whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of, just inspirations and what keeps you going, I know you started Northern Natives, which is, you're founded a collective, correct?
Yeah.
How did that even get started, and when did you exactly start that collective?
So in high school,
nice.
Yeah, I was like a sophomore.
Throwback.
I was like a sophomore, and I had a friend, his name's Corbin, but he produces too, and when I was rapping, like me and him made a whole like collab mixtape together in high school. But we were gonna make a second one, and I wanted it to be called like so this isn't where the name like Donuts and Coffee Breaks comes from too. Like I wanted to name a project.
Gonna talk about you beat me to it.
Yeah. But like so I wanted to name it Donuts and Coffee Breaks, and it just never happened, and I always had that name like on the back burner for something. And then I came up with Northern Natives because I wanted to start a collective in Spokane, like a rap collective. Mm-hmm. But I sucked, so like nobody wanted to be in it.
Which explains why you didn't stick to rapping necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, like I said, I've always had like I tried using it on like I was gonna make a mixtape. I made a project with someone like a rapper, me producing. I wanted to call it Northern Natives, but it didn't happen.
Work.
It didn't happen. So then I finally got to use it. I went up to like UW, and they had like the UW Hip Hop Cypher. They have like these little meetings where like people come and show like what they're making.
HSSAs.
Yeah.
Is like they're the kings behind that.
Yeah, exactly. So they were doing that. So I went out there, and that's how I met like Keo Ken, like Kenny.
I adore him, by the way. He's great.
Yeah,
I'm glad you mentioned. I was going to talk about him briefly.
But yeah, I met him, and then I was like, sorry, I had this other guy named Shane. He produces under Slopsis now or something like that.
Oh.
His name used to be Senzo. I knew him as Senzo.
Yeah, because that's what you had posted online.
But there was Senzo, and then I was gonna make it with him, and I started it with him, but then he kind of bailed out of it. So then it was just me and Kenny, and then I just started like, all right, well, I want to like find good people, and then I picked up Sendai, and then I've dropped a couple people, I've picked up a couple people.
So this actually officially started in high school, or you?
No, it started in like 2015. when it
Oh, this is recent.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, because I noticed that it started, it hit my radar like recently, not too long ago, and I was like, wait, I didn't even know Kenny was even a part of a group, and then I saw you on there too, and I was like, oh wait, he's a founder. So, and I was like, this is all recent, so that's why I was wondering how long has it been going on.
It's only been a year. Like,
Nice.
it was technically found probably like January, December 2014, but like we didn't release anything until
then.
Until
Okay.
April of
Perfect.
2015. So that's when I would say we really started.
Who qualifies, considering that you have dropped some people and you've picked up folks that you felt like were good for the collective? What's your tone of?
Like for me, just in general, like I'm really picky about stuff.
Like you should be.
Yeah, and like, so I'm really picky. Like there was people like that wanted to like come in, or people like that were previous people that have been in that I've wanted to bring other people in. Like, yo, you should grab this guy, and like I just don't want okay people. Like I wanted to have someone I can like have on and like grow with them, and like they can grow with us. So that's my goal, is just to find people that I like really fuck with, and then like have a good unique sound, and then not just mimicking someone else.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't say there's anything qualifying. It's just if I fuck with you, I fuck with
I was like, who qualifies for this? Can I be in the collective? What was the vision behind Donuts and Coffee Breaks volumes? Because you have 3 volumes posted so far. What was the vision behind that? And why did you even? I know you wanted to use it, but why?
So just because like I always thought, it really was just because I wanted to use it, like that name for something, and it worked out because like they're all instrumental projects. So I mean, like the name kind of derives from like Donuts, because it's like an ode to like Jay Dilla.
Nice.
Yeah, so an ode to Jay Dilla, then Donuts and Coffee Breaks, like donuts and coffee always go together, and like it's just kind of like chill stuff. Like the first one was definitely more Donuts and Coffee Breaks because it was like all like sample-based hip hop. It was really laid back and whatnot, but yeah, just a good name, and I like it, and we're just gonna keep doing it for a little bit.
It makes sense. It works with what you're doing. Now that you fully explained, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Because, well, is it more, what changes between every volume? Is there any switch, or you guys try to keep a consistent tone?
No, it's definitely like, for me, it's a very loose collective. Like I don't make them, like we're all doing our own thing, but then we'll come together for like a project or something like that. And but yeah, there's no tone. It's just literally whatever anyone is feeling, whatever they want to bring to the table, and whatever they want to do really. And but like it's cool because you can hear like progression from each one.
Definitely, because each track is a different person,
time,
part of the collective, and time. How many is it set in terms of how many years? Or sorry, how many years? Look at me. How many years? How many months or weeks? Like, do you do it every bi-monthly?
It's just whenever like. It's definitely not set. It's like kind of like, all right, like we're about to. I really don't want to do another one, like another volume right now. We're trying to do like an EP where we'll bring artists and like make a like EP, like actual like songs.
Nice, based just for Northern Natives.
Yeah.
Nice. So that would be your first. That would be the first EP as a group.
Yeah.
That's lit.
So yeah, that'll definitely be happening in the future soon. I would imagine.
Cooking on them, and y'all don't even know it. So your production has definitely grown and changed. I was listening from some of your projects from like first one, and then all the way to what you just dropped recently, which was Mista Samurai, which was not too recent, but it was good over a year.
No, it was in December.
In December?
Almost a year.
I see. So I'm like, we're almost a year. So almost a year. And so you from Roots to Old Blossom, and then also what you just dropped. I feel like with the one you recently dropped with Mista Samurai was more of like a reintroduction of your sound, and like, okay, this is me showing you where I really want to be and how I want to go farther past this, but this is like, okay, this is at least where I want y'all to see.
Yeah, that was like the first like stepping stone, I'd say, for me. It's like, it was definitely like the first time that I've never made, like a lot of the beats on there like I never made before that. Like it was all like sample based hip hop.
Yeah, it was like more like boom bap type
all boom
style.
Bap. And I was like, that was literally all I fucked with for
a minute.
I used to have a hip hop old head mentality. It was really bad. Like,
why do you say it's bad?
Just because like I was just so like against anything that didn't sound like that, and like it kind of like closed me off from that, and like it was definitely just like being a purist about hip hop, and I'm happy I broke out of that, but like for like a long time, I was like, yeah, if it wasn't hip hop sounding, like I didn't fuck with
You
it.
felt like that was it. That was the only thing that signified as this is hip hop.
Yeah, like it's like for me, it's just like these people have to be saying some shit, and like I'm not like I can listen to some ignorant stuff now, but still like not even really that much now.
Which I feel like you should, if you're a true creative artist, entertainer, or what have you in this industry, you have to have standards, just like anything else. And there's certain things I feel like we should tolerate, and certain things we know it's all garbage and we shouldn't.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, people are gonna eat up the garbage.
Unfortunately, and that's why the garbage is
yeah.
still produced and made. And like people are still gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's unfortunately a market for it.
Yeah, but that's just me.
No, I don't blame you. I feel the same way. I'm like, well, that was crap. They should have told you that. I don't know who took the time to mix and master that. What has affected your journey as a producer? I mean, you clearly mentioned that you had to kind of step out of a different mindset and kind of stop thinking that hip hop had to sound a certain way and always one way. What are other things that you've learned that helped you grow as a producer?
That was like the biggest thing, because like it just like because I was just making the same and like making the same stuff over and over again. Like before Mista Samurai, like I think it was like during Mista Samurai that I started getting tired of what I was like. I was getting tired of what I was making, and like it just like I remember there was like a stint where I couldn't make anything for like a month and a half, 2 months.
That's scary.
Yeah, and it was just because like I just did not fuck with anything I was making. Like
wow.
Yeah, so I wanted to like that's when I like changed everything that I wanted to do.
You flipped. You're like, it's time.
Yeah, it's time to expand my horizons, and it was the best choice I ever made for sure.
You were in the nest just trying to hibernate. What are some of the favorite elements that you like to use in production?
I would say for elements, you be like I like using like I like using like textural stuff. Like that's a big part of my sound, I'd say, which is like when I say textural, it's kind of like white noise. Like you hear it a lot. Like everyone does it now. A lot of people do it. Where you just take like a field recording and then you'll just put it under. So there's white noise behind everything. And kind of like it's cool because it can also paint a scene. Like you have like a cafe field
Type
recording,
stuff.
and like it just kind of like puts you like, oh, I'm here. But I'll mix like all these random different field recordings and I'll like layer them together when I'm making beats. That was like a big thing because it's like because I want to paint a scene with like sound.
You want to see sounds like Pharrell?
Yeah.
Hey, that's my. I love Pharrell. Y'all don't know, but seeing sounds in the intro track, he talks about like, yeah, I grew up kind of seeing sounds. Like that's what I experienced, and he tries to do that through his work. So I like that you kind of want to.
Yeah, I would definitely like, and then like element wise, I would say like definitely swing is really important to me.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Just like the natural rhythm. It's like because when what a lot of people do is like it's called quantizing, and it's like when everything is like it's like on the grid. And if you listen, like, cause like everyone says it, but like my biggest influence has been like probably like Jay Dilla, like DJ Premier and whatnot, and like just that whole. If you listen to their stuff, like the swing of everything, like, cause that's like it makes you go like that. Like you want to break someone's neck when you're showing them something, and like so for me, it's definitely like making sure that everything's not on the grid and quantized, that there's that natural human element still in the music.
Some flow.
So yeah, because like there's shit that you hear like that people just be throwing out there that's just like so robotic sounding.
Exactly. It's repetitive. You want to have some flow and something. Bring in some, because I mean, with hip hop, you just don't want to be, nowadays at least, hip hop has branched out. It's changed. It's shifted. It's way more fluid. It's not very stagnant and. You're not listening to the same metronome beat over and over again. So I'm glad you're kind of wanting to expand and realizing how important that is.
Yeah.
And do you use Logic? Do you use Pro Tools? What's your favorite?
I started out using Reason 5.
Oh wow.
And like
isn't that a harder system to use? From what I heard.
There was this guy named Nefarious on YouTube, and like I remember I watched some videos of him like making beats. And like he was using that, and like so I was using that, and then it was an Akai MPD32.
Nice.
So I used that with Reason, and it was just pretty much like because you use like the Dr. Rex kind of like it's like a sampler thing, but it was like a ghetto MPC basically. You gotta start with, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. Yeah, and it worked. I used that for like a long time, and like and you say like the Roots was my first one, but like that was, if you look on the bottom, it says volume 3.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So, you
So I have
had
stuff
other
that like
ones.
I was making beats. Like I had like a couple beat tapes before that, but like
sure.
I'm not gonna post them. But
Of course, yeah. I was like, I figured that's your
they're in
first
the
like
they're in
published
the
work.
archives. But yeah, I was using that, and then I went to Machine. I used the Machine for like 4 years, and I was like, that was because I was sampling. Like that's like the best thing to use for sampling, in my opinion. But it's really limited with mixing wise, and like actually doing like production. Like you can get like ideas down. Like workflow is like super crazy. But now I switched to Ableton. Yeah, and like no, it was because like I said, like I got tired of what I was making, and Machine was just literally like holding me back from what I was wanting to do. So then I had to like, when I was going through my like creative rut, like the most important thing like what I can like say to someone is like, if you're like, because there's the highs and the lows, and like for me it's just a cycle. Like I'll do really like I'll be making shit all day like for weeks, and then all of a sudden like I'll just can't make anything.
Oh wow! So you work
Yeah.
differently.
So this was
Everyone
like
works
I was like
differently.
experiencing a really bad one though. And then, so I just learned I was like, all right, well, I get to learn Ableton, so like invested a bunch of money because it's expensive. Like,
Oh yeah, this equipment's not a game.
yeah,
None of this.
it was expensive, and like I had to watch.
It's a game.
I sat there for like 12 hours, like watching YouTube videos on how to
Hey,
use
that's
it,
what's up.
and then I figured it out, and now I use it all the time.
That's lit. I love that.
Yeah, and like it's definitely like the reason like my sound has gotten to where it's at now because of switching DAWs.
I think that I like that you're saying, because I feel like people may not think about that when they first get started. They may not think that, okay, if I start off, like I'm interested in spinning, so if I start off with the old school techniques, table, like doing vinyl, then I'm not gonna necessarily be using that 3-4 years from now. I'm gonna be. I would have to upgrade to better equipment to make sure my sound is quality. So that's something that people have a misconception. They don't understand how expensive this is. It's a full-time commitment. Like this is not half-ass. It's expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to like literally love it, be passionate about it, and be willing to put in the time.
Yeah, because a lot of time, like I said, I sat there like just by choice and sat there and watched 12 hours of some random guy on YouTube.
Straight?
Yeah, it was almost straight. Like,
Oh my God!
I just
You
wanted
got up to just use the bathroom.
I wanted to get it over with, so I was like, all right.
Damn, that's pure dedication. I'll give
Yeah,
you
but
that.
I definitely had to go back. I didn't learn it all in like that time.
Of course.
Yeah, I definitely had to go back.
But you got like some basic foundation stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, at least I understand how to turn on the damn thing after 12 hours. And I just kind of noticed hearing you were mentioning samples. From stuff I was listening to from your work, I wasn't seeing that as much. I saw you were doing more raw and like scratch production. Like you started from the basics and like built from there. Is that something that you kind of started doing and then you kind of
I just started doing
switched it
that
up?
really. Like I wanted to say I started making from scratch probably. Like I dabbled when I was in like fall of 2014, but like I really got into like making from scratch like probably May of 2015. It's because I went to Sasquatch for the first time, and I remember I saw Subtract, and like I was just like, it was really inspiring just because like I finally like saw, because I didn't really want to ever be like a DJ producer like guy who like performed live and whatnot. I just wanted to like I said, because I had a hip hop head mentality, so I was like I'm just gonna make beats in my
closet
in the studio and never come out. But yeah, I saw that, and like that's what really got like Subtract really got me into electronic music. And then so I saw that, and then I was like all right, well I want to start pursuing that kind of sound and like just sampling, because like that's another thing I got bored of, like sampling too, because I've been sampling since I started making beats.
Is that from what? Well, you can tell me or let me know. Like, is it easier to start off with samples? And I want to say probably scratch is a little bit harder.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
Yeah, because you're creating something out of nothing, and then you have to understand how to use each and every one of those.
Yeah, there's still an art to sampling. There definitely is. Like I still respect it, but there's a lot of people who like just
abuse it.
Who just do it
Exactly.
And, like, they're just looping shit, and like that's cool and whatnot. I mean, you can get away with that
That's
sometimes.
nice.
Like if you do it in a certain way, but I mean, like I don't have a problem with it. But yeah, I just got tired of doing it and just doing samples. Like I haven't sampled since probably like October.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and like I get more gratification when I'm making it from scratch, like knowing that I made this synth patch, I wrote all of this myself. A lot more gratification, but I definitely still fuck with samples. I'm gonna definitely get back into it soon, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I was, of course, you had gotten an opportunity to work with Goldlink, correct?
Yeah.
This was, how long ago was this? Not that long
Probably
ago.
it was like in April when I got the
Not
email.
that long ago.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the experience and how that turned out, and then also your reaction.
Well, like yeah, they emailed me out of the blue, and I was super hyped. I was like, holy
Who
shit!
wouldn't
Like
be?
I was like, yo, I was like, what the fuck?
Goldlink is genius. His
Yeah, and it was
work
like
is
it came from like
amazing.
it came from an A&R from RC Records, but it was super tight because like he's the one who really like who got me like I was saying Subtract, like I guess Subtract got me more into like wanting to perform live, but Goldlink is really what got me into
Subtract.
like into yeah.
Man, they're all good. All these people all the people you're mentioning are just you have no words.
Yeah, Goldlink. I heard it. I can't remember. I heard it was his On and On remix he remixed one of Kate Renata's songs, and I remember I heard that, and I was like,
that track was lit.
I was like, yo, this dude can spit, and like I've been listening to him since that was like 3 years ago, so it was just super cool. Like it kind of like, man, like the sound I have now is definitely from like it's super inspired by Goldlink, just the future bounce kind of stuff. So it was really cool like that they came to me. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Like they just stopped hitting me back basically. I sent them like 3 beats, and like he listened to them, and they just decided not to listen to the 3rd beat for some reason. But they're all on my album, and they're all like I'm really proud of them all.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So it just shows like that I'm on the radar now,
Yes.
and that I'm doing something right, and I had to remind myself like Michael Jordan didn't make his high school basketball team.
Preach on.
Oprah Winfrey had to get fired to become Oprah Winfrey, you know.
Tell them.
So it's like it's just a little setback, but like I said, it'll be on my album.
It's very, honestly, I'm so happy that you shared that online to all your followers and people who pay attention to what you're doing, because a lot of people, no matter what people are doing, when they're doing what they love, a lot of times they romanticize it or they make it something that it's not, and they glamorize what it's like. I was gonna mention to you that it's so important that you pay attention to like the quality of what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, this is for the world. Whatever you're doing, do it full heart, all the way, wholeheartedly.
Like Ron Swanson says, you gotta put your full ass into it.
You have to. All of that ass, because you don't know who's watching, and that's just like his, I want to say testimony like being church, but your testimony definitely, shows that no matter what you do, people are watching, good or bad. So put in your 100.
Yeah, exactly.
And put yourself forward the way you want to be seen, because people are paying attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether they act like they are or not, people are paying attention. So that's amazing that you kind of had to you spent a while like focusing.
It was like 2 months straight.
Yeah.
Lots of Red Bull. Like, cause I have a day job, so
Oh
like,
my God,
I would get off work at like 3 and then work on this shit till like 11, 12.
That's
every day.
dedication.
Yeah. Well, like, cause I was like, yo, like, cause yeah, I hate my fucking job. Like, I don't.
Okay, we need to either do like a quick segment on like artists that like work jobs or entertainers that work jobs that they hate, but then they do what they love and they're successing and what.
But
you have to do something like that. Cause
it just
so
it motivates me though, because it's like, yo, I want to get the fuck out of here, so I'm gonna keep working. Like, and I'm tired of shit when I get off work, but I still will put in that time. And that's what sucked about the whole situation. I was like, yo, like I might get out of this finally.
Busting my booty, hoping that it was such a so close, so far situation, which is like,
but it's all good. It's all good.
You live and you learn, and that's definitely. I really wonder who else is gonna shoot you an email. You never know who's gonna come up to you next, and maybe somebody even bigger than Goldlink. You never know.
Yeah, and especially with this album, like the album I'm working on, like this is shit that
I'm so excited about to talk about it next.
Yeah, nobody has heard anything like that I've made before. So super excited about it.
So you've been working on, speaking of the project that you're about to drop, you've been working on it for over a year now?
No, since about almost a year, since October of last year.
Okay, so every time I say over a year, you're like, nope, almost. I'm like, oh, it's not the same. No, we can't guesstimate. What are some skills that you learned? I feel like you kind of talked about this a little bit, but specifically for this album, what are some things that you had to... some new skills you had to learn, you had to invest in to kind of make it better?
I definitely, I've learned a lot of sound design.
Okay.
Just learning how to, make my own synths and shit. That's like a really big. I hate when I hear like a producer and like you can tell that it's just some stock something out of like their DAW. And like that's cool.
That.
Like I mean, I use stock stuff too, but like I'll tweak it to like make it my own somewhat. But like I like to make my own synths, like 'cause I get a lot of gratification out of that. Like yo, I made this shit, and no one else will have this. But yeah, I definitely had to learn that. I had to learn my mixing has gotten like 10 times better, and like I'll be listening to stuff that I released like 6 months ago, and I'm like, wow, fuck this, my mixing sucks on this. So I've learned a lot of mixing, and I've learned a lot of theory, like music theory as well, like more than I did before, and it's been helping because like I'm now making stuff from scratch. Like you got to know how to like, yeah, you definitely like if you want to be a producer, like it's definitely important to like have some music theory. And you definitely, I'm not saying to be like a savant, and like there's people out there that are like incredible musicians and like can play the fuck out of a piano, but like they'll try and make beats and it's not the same.
That's a different ballpark and way of looking at music. So
yeah, exactly.
That's not the same. You can't just cross. Some people kill it and can do that.
Yeah.
They can just pick up. It's like the people who never studied and then they fucking pass the test with an A, and you want to hurt them when you're so mad that they can pass the test and you had to study your ass off.
Yeah, but
so not everyone.
It's super cool because there's like Chris McClenny from like Selection and like Brass Tracks. Like they're all like savants or like incredible musicians, and like they all have a theory, and like that's the other side of it. There's all those people I'm not saying that like they all make that music. Those people.
No, but everyone's different in terms of their creativity and how they bring that to the table. It's just everyone's talented in their own way, and some people have to bust their ass and like literally put in 3 years of practicing and learning and putting in skills. Some people can learn within a year. You know, everyone's different, and it's a choice of like, are you willing to endure that journey? Because you don't know what's gonna come of you and what you bring. Will you? I mean, you kind of said you're not gonna be rapping anymore. Is it something that you kind of gonna just leave alone? You're not gonna incorporate in your future sound at all?
The towel has been hung up. Delphonic died a long time ago.
Okay, I'm glad you cleared that because I was like, what if he?
It got to the point where like my beats were like progressing faster than my raps were.
Okay.
And like it got to the point where I was like, yo, if I was some random rapper and I came up to me with my raps asking like for my beats, I would say no. And like I just had to be honest with myself. I was like, all right, because like I always like, because I was like back when I started making beats, like it wasn't a big thing to be like a producer and like be at these big ass festivals and shit. And but like I didn't want to be that, so I just wanted to make beats and shit. But yeah.
Well, with what you dropped so far, I'm very, very pleased with. I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way. I'm sure you feel that way about your own work. But sailing to Japan on an air mattress, I'm in love with. It's really good. I want to know. You're welcome. I want to know if that's going to be the tone of your entire project, or is this going to be like a taste of like one of the different sounds that you're going to bring to the table?
So the project's called Hodgpodge. Yeah, and
I Hodgpodge. I want to know why. So cute.
But I mean, like that song, like that beat is definitely a hodgepodge, but it's still like all meshes together at the end of it. But I would like it was cool because like I've always because I was like with Ableton, like I haven't been able to like mix different BPMs and like tempo changes and whatnot, and I got to do that finally. So I've been holding that in. Like I've been wanting to like mix shit like that because like it goes from like some like future hip hop to like just like electronic to like house, and like that's like kind of like the whole tone I would say is like it's all those like all my influences, like I'm meshing, fusing like all these different genres together.
Okay.
So like yeah, and I won't be like as like abrupt like it is like on that one, like just like blending. Like I have songs that are blending like hip hop and like and jazz and then like soul and like house music.
I'm here for it. I'm so excited. I'm here. It's gonna cause just with that single you dropped so far, I was just like, this is about to be a dope ass project.
No, yeah.
And you're about to drop the next one like within a few days, no?
Yeah, we're finishing it up this weekend. Finally. Yeah, I've been sitting on it for a while.
Good. That's a good thing. That means it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. Those tend to be the best ones. Like things you just marinate on and then you don't really talk too much about it and then you release it and you just watch.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's like I said, like a lot of the whole project is like nobody, like it's all, there's only one one song where I sample, and then on my last project, like full length, it was like last year. It's like all samples.
Hey, okay.
So it's
so
cool.
you're switching it up completely.
Yeah,
showing people this is what I've been doing.
Yeah, and like it's all really cool because, like I said, like nobody's heard me make anything like this before. So I'm really excited to show everyone because I've been working my ass off.
I know
on
you
it.
have. I know you have.
So it's gonna be. I'm really excited to release it. But yeah, that song we're releasing it on August 2nd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the next single is gonna be dropped August 2nd.
Yeah,
Stay tuned.
August
y'all.
2nd. But
Shameless plug.
but August 2nd. But yeah, it'll be with Mr. DC and then Cole from BFA.
Yes, I'm
But
aware
yeah,
of that.
it's a very like disco-y kind of like.
I was wondering. I was like,
So-
okay, with the two other people that you have involved, I was wondering what kind of sound. Cause I know what Cole sounds like, and they're more fun. Like BFA are very fun young
Yeah.
dudes. They like to have fun with their hip hop and their music. So I was just like, okay, that, and then you have Mr. DC. So what are we? Is it gonna be more of a playful track?
No.
Oh no.
It's more like it's very soulful.
Oh.
And it's very inspired by like people I look up to, like Pomo and like.
Oh, this is getting serious.
yeah.
I was like, my heart. Pomo's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pomo's like one of my biggest influences.
Your references are blowing me off the water. I'm just very content with his references. I love Pomo. One of my favorite tracks he's put out it was like a flip of a Sade track.
The Tanashi one.
He done Tanashi, but he did one with Sade too.
I don't think I've heard that one.
Yeah, it's one of his older stuff. And then I just love Pomo. Every time he drops something, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm excited to listen to what he put out because it's always good.
Yeah, and like I released something called like Into You, like
Mm-hmm.
probably like let's say like September of last year, and
Mm-hmm.
that was like my first like house track that I was like happy with. Like I remixed Tamia's song called So Into You.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's old. Everyone
Yeah, I
used to
remixed
sing
that.
that when they didn't even know what they were talking about. Like, who you don't even know about love, so shut up. You're 12.
Yeah, but my biggest thing like with Pomo is because I love his bass line, so it's like it's been a really another thing that people haven't heard of, like my bass lines have getting like
Oh,
clean.
them 808s
Yeah.
crispy. I'm excited. That's dope. So I'm pumped, super pumped. Me and I'm sure a lot of people.
Heck yeah.
Are there any people on the project other than the ones you just mentioned that you're very excited to have worked with?
Let's see. Do you know who Say is?
No, I don't.
Caye.
No,
You should look him up sometime. But
you said CAYE.
yeah, he's like this white dude from the East Coast. But he's super dope, and like he's pretty popular on SoundCloud right now too. But he's someone I'm really excited we're working with, and there's like Cole too. Like Cole, I've been listening to BFA since I was like in high school.
I was listening. Well, when I moved to Seattle, like I started listening to them in a college, like early college, my freshman year. I found out about them, and I was hooked ever since.
Yeah. So like it was that's really someone I was hyped about. And then there's Kristen Henry from I'm sure you're gonna be mad. I think it's like Navvi. I think it's Navi or something. I can't.
I just don't remember how to say it.
No,
But,
I'll say it. But yeah, I'm really happy to be working with her. And then there's
nice. You have a female artist.
yeah,
that's
there's
gonna be on
a few, and there's this girl named Lauren Cruz as well.
You're saying names of people.
Yeah,
I've
these are a lot.
never
Yeah, these are all
heard
like
of.
it's cool because like these are a lot of people like not many people have heard of. But I mean, they're all still doing their own thing. But like,
That's lit.
it's like I'm grabbing people from like weird places and like making cool music that I'm happy about.
Amazing. Are all these people? Because you mentioned someone. One of them was from the east side. What was it? CAYE. How do you say his
Yeah,
name?
Say.
Say. Are there other people that you worked from other regions?
Yeah,
that you
there's
kinda-
there's Right Groove, and then there's I have this all on my phone.
I mean, you don't have to ditch all of that. You don't have to spill all the beans, but I mean, you gotta leave them a little bit of something to figure out. But
Right Groove is one of my homies though.
Okay.
So I found him on SoundCloud and I fucked with him. So I was like, yo, let's make something nice. And then there's Houston Kendrick. He's from Nashville.
wow,
Yeah, and then there's like Zach Taylor too. He's on there.
wow, you're definitely. Oh, I'm from Zach.
Zach Taylor.
ZAK.
ZACH. He's that. I don't know if you listen to that Vacation song that I have on my SoundCloud with him.
No, I haven't.
should
I haven't
definitely
listened
listen
to
to
that
that.
one. Well, cause I'm about to be on there all the time. I already was because I was doing my research. But
Yeah, he's one of my homies from Spokane actually. But
dang, okay, this is gonna be a very like inclusive. Like you kind of grabbed from all different parts.
yeah,
of
and
it.
it's cool because like I
the
said, it's a
States.
hodgepodge. Like I said, like every song is like just fused and different fusions of different like styles. So it's really cool.
You've done some serious investing, my dear. Like you've done some.
It's about to be lit.
Yeah, and I saw your tweet. You were clowning on Twitter about you're like, man, I can't wait till I drop this. Y'all not ready. It's about to be lit. Like you were just so excited. I love seeing that you really are like passionate and love what you do, and there's nothing like that. It just makes your work 20 times better. So of course I'm excited for your releases. And who inspires your style as a producer specifically?
Let's see. So it started I was definitely like, because the first like what got me into hip hop was because I went over to my uncle Peter's house, and he's really into music, and he always has been. And he had a whole garage of just CDs and shit.
Oh,
like me and him were like,
you could get lost in
me and him would be
there.
listening like Ramones and like just like cool
Nice.
stuff like stuff like that. And then I was like, yo, I want to start listening to like hip hop, because I was like, I didn't listen to it. And then it really is because of him that like even got me in like where I am now, is because he gave me 2001 straight out of Compton, and then he gave me a Young Jock CD that I didn't listen to.
Guilty as charged. Still haven't listened to it. It's 2016.
But yeah, like I just fell in love with NWA and like that sound, like it's a soulful sound. But yeah, so it would be Dre, the RZA from Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang's what got me like to start making music. Like they're one of my biggest influences.
They've been a very big influence to a lot of people in the game. So that's
So RZA, DJ Premier, Jay Dilla, Pete Rock.
oh wow.
Like new people like now, because those are all people like I listen to like
That's
boom
some
bap.
serious pure hip hop.
That's what I was saying. I used to be
Serious hip hop strains. He said Pete Rock, you guys. Damn.
So yeah, like that. But then recently, like I got into electronic music not too long ago, and then now my biggest influences have been like Pomo and like Louis Lastic, all the Selection people.
Louis Lastic. No one has been really saying his name, and he's like steady working.
Yeah, Miramasa has been a really big influence for me too.
I haven't.
You ever heard Miramasa?
No. Wait, Miramasa?
He has that Firefly song.
No.
He's from the UK, but
I don't know him. Okay.
yeah, he's super filthy. He's a big like the whole space between shit. Like, he's really in, like that's one of his biggest things, and that's really important to me as well. So it's like kind of just connected with me. But yeah, I mean like Duke, like I even listen to like Duke Dumont and like whatnot, and like
Of course, you have to.
yeah,
You have to.
I really like just house music, but not like fuckboy house
Oh my
music.
God. Well, I was wondering, like, do you want to, because I see that you kind of want to branch out of just a certain, you don't want to be restricted to one sound, it seems like. You kind of want to branch out and just open up past where you started.
Yeah, exactly. What were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
I definitely don't, that's my biggest thing, is like I don't want to keep making the same shit over and over again. And I like experimenting and like being able to like be versatile. And like that's it, like with the whole album, my whole album thing, like it's gonna like really show how like really versatile I am.
It's amazing.
Yeah, because like I go from like making like pure hip hop to like a house or like I'm not really into trap. Like I make my own.
Y'all ain't ready.
I make my own kind of like my own style of my own take on trap music and whatnot. But yeah, just fusing them all together.
This is good. This is good stuff. Do you see yourself, do you want to be locally known, or do you want to expand and be more recognized mainstream?
Well, I'm shooting for the stars, so definitely not like locally known is definitely a good thing. Like that's like the first stepping point, but like it's definitely not my goal to be a local guy. I don't want to get stuck here. So I'm definitely want to like expand myself, but like I said, that takes time.
Do you want to stay independent, or would you?
Yeah, definitely. Like I don't. I mean, at the end of the day, like it depends, like what kind of like deal comes across the table.
Of course. What would be your ideal deal, if that makes sense? Is that
I just don't know how. I don't have very much knowledge on like how
the
that works.
business side of the yeah.
Well, I mean, I know some business side, but not that much at all. But like, just like I mean, like there's like a Flume as an example of someone who got picked up by a label, and like he couldn't make his own OG stuff for like 2 years, 3 years. He just released his album. Like that's the first like.
When he just pulled out that recent one, that was like people raved about it, and it's probably because crazy. It was his best work of what he was able to do finally.
Yeah, he usually makes like stuff with like Chet Baker and whatnot.
Yeah,
and,
he
like,
was.
Yeah,
for
that's
the
cool.
longest.
Like they were selling records. I mean, like it just depends. Like I said, like what kind of deal comes across the table. But As of right now, I guess I'm gonna be independent. 'Cause I mean, yeah, I don't really know how it works with producers being signed to like.
Exactly.
Cause I mean, there's like Calvin Harris people that are like working with that are like the label producer guy that's like doing everything.
Exactly.
I definitely don't want to be like that.
Okay, so giving us an idea of like what you don't want to be stuck doing, that makes sense. But I feel you probably just want to be well respected and like known.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anyone in particular that you would love to work with in the future? Any producers that have killed it and have been killing it?
See, that's my problem is like I have a hard time working with other producers.
Oh, okay. So you
Like,
tend to
no,
like,
I mean like I can like if we're like adding like little like if he's like putting like a bass line,
but not
or like
entirely
something like
the
not like
whole
I
project.
have yet to pull that off. There's a lot of people like on SoundCloud that have only are strictly like only doing stuff with other people, and I just haven't pulled it off yet. I really know it's hard because it's just like I want a certain way things need to sound.
You haven't found.
But I mean like
people
that's
that can
like
work
yeah
with
like
that.
yeah. But I mean like collabing with people I definitely don't. It's always fun. And like I guess with people I'd want to work with would be like Ninth Wonder would be someone I'd want to.
Oh, nice. Not one person has mentioned him.
Really?
Since I never have I heard his name, and I know who Ninth Wonder is. He's
he's definitely
respected.
he's definitely one of my biggest influences too. Ninth
That's
Wonder.
dope. So he would probably be like, that's my go-to main person. I would be like,
Yeah,
I would
Ninth
love to
would
sit
be
down.
dope. Like Pomo, and there's so many like SoundCloud people that I fuck with that I love to like.
You're such
just
a
kick it with.
SoundCloud advocate, and I'm so with you. I am behind you 100%. SoundCloud really opened me up to so many different sounds.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's a good place. Like people dog on it all the time, and I mean,
it started off as a community for people who didn't have a platform for themselves.
yeah, I mean, like there's people who coming out of it. I mean, like, there's Alan Kingdom's like a prime example. I mean, like Goldlink's a prime example.
Hello.
All the Selection's a prime example.
Exactly.
And like they're all touring in Nashville,
Making
around the
good
world.
money doing
Yeah.
what they love,
Yeah,
entirely
exactly.
doing
So,
what
I
they
mean,
love.
Like, SoundCloud, it's just like the power of the internet, and SoundCloud is just a place where you can be discovered. I mean, it's very saturated too
It's
now.
becoming oversaturated,
Yeah.
but it still has.
But I mean,
its-
if people fuck with you, like they'll come. Like at the end of the day, like it's not you can't force your music on people, and like that's the best way is like for me the way I look at it is like organic growth. Because like if people fuck with you, they'll come. Like I said.
no matter what, people can see right through the fake. That's one thing I noticed that I guess at least doing what I do, hosting, interviewing, people can see right through that. Like, don't get me wrong, like humans can just be just following, they'll just pay attention to pretty much anything, but they can see right through you. I like that you're saying that because it's very evident that people are paying attention and they know when you're being yourself, you're being authentic. If you're just kind of just half-assing, you can see that.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like a pleasure, more than a pleasure to sit down and chat with you.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me out.
Thank you for coming. Let your listeners know where they can find you, your music, especially people who don't know who you are.
Well, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and SoundCloud, like all under the same name, Samurai Del, at Samurai Del, which is SAMURAIDEL, no spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Got an album on the way.
Hey.
Got some stuff with Northern Natives coming out. So yeah, I think you guys will like it.
And then also, can they find any of your music on any platforms? I know Bandcamp is one of them.
There's Bandcamp. I mean, we're on me and Mista Mista Samurai. That's on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. It's literally on everything.
Now we talking. Now we
on
talking at iTunes. Though, when you make that iTunes, you like, I'm winning. I'm getting there.
Now once you get on iTunes, though, like you can, if you type in my name, it's music artist.
It's lit. You like, it's official. I'm getting there. Oh, I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I love that. Everyone's been listening and watching. I hope you guys enjoyed your time. This is Conversessions. I'm Tami T. Greater Northwest Music is powering this entire interview.
When it don't make sense, cause I used to have a life. Dream hard about the fame of life. Hot beat and the flow was cold. We made another fucking hit and we on a roll. Rocking shows, yeah. Shit